I became 2 years old, not literally, but emotionally, in the middle of an argument with the person I loved the most. I would regress into this tiny, terrified version of myself. Reactive, needy, devastated over things that looking back were so small. And for years, I thought that was just who I was. Turns out it wasn't me at all. It was codependency. And I didn't even know I had it until until it was almost too late. So today I want to talk about something that affects almost everyone watching this. Whether you realize it or not, it's there. It's codependency. It's a yucky word. Not the textbook definition, the real lived messy version of it. Because this thing hides in places you'd never think to look. This is the uncomfortable truth of it. Codependency doesn't start with your partner. It starts the moment you're born. Think about it. When you come into this world, the one unspoken promise is you're going to be loved. That's the deal. Your parents are supposed to give you that. And most of them try, of course they do, but they can only give you what they have. They can't hand you what they don't understand about themselves. They don't actually know who you are underneath it all. So very early, a gap forms between what you needed and what you actually received. And because we're children, we don't question it, of course. We don't have a critical mind yet. We just absorb it. Beliefs, reactions, ways of seeing the world, most of it isn't even ours. It's the inherited version from parents, from teachers, from the people around us. And we carry it forward as if it were our own truth, never once asking, is this actually me? Or is this something that was handed to me? That gap, that's where codependency is born. Not standing up for yourself, not questioning what you were taught. And it doesn't stay small. It grows into your friendships, into how you pick your partner. You start expecting people to deliver something, validation, love, safety, because you're still trying to fill something that started emptying out decades ago. And the problem is, nobody else can fill that. They don't know what you needed any more than your parents did. So when they don't deliver, you get triggered. You go into defense, and suddenly the war is on. I lived this without a single ounce of awareness. It wasn't until I found my long-term partner that I actually started to see it. I began noticing all these hidden expectations I carried. Hidden agendas. Really just wanting to be seen, validated, loved in very specific ways I never voiced out loud. And underneath that was a conditioning I wasn't even conscious of. I wasn't choosing these reactions. They were choosing me. And you know how this kind of pattern usually ends? Somebody eventually can't carry the weight of those expectations anymore. Because the brutal truth about codependency, you can never fill an empty cup by asking someone else to keep pouring into it. It just keeps going and going. Because the cup was never actually empty from lack of love around you. It was empty from a lack of love within you. So I went through a divorce. I went through other relationships after that, almost like I needed to see the pattern repeat itself before I could actually believe it was a pattern and not just bad luck or the wrong person. Every time, the same performance, that same need to fill something that couldn't be filled from the outside. It was especially brutal with love. That's when I regress, become that 2-year-old, reactive, small, wounded, pulled straight out of some old, unprocessed part of my past. It was not a pretty sight. It was genuinely devastating, both for me and for the people I loved. I want to slow this down a little bit because this is the tricky part. Codependency at its core is an intolerance for uncertainty. You want to know you're loved. You want the guarantee, the proof right now. You can't sit in the not knowing, so you grab onto someone else's and demand they remove the discomfort for you. And when they can't, because nobody can, you take it as a rejection, as abandonment, as proof that you're not enough. But uncertainty isn't the enemy. Uncertainty is actually where all your growth lies. And it lives. The moment you stop needing an immediate answer, stop needing someone to instantly reassure you, prove themselves, fill the gap, that's the moment you actually start to heal. Because you're no longer asking the outside world to resolve something only you can resolve. And this is where my impatience comes in. I used to need things fast, reassurance fast, resolution fast. If a conversation felt unfinished, if there was tension left hanging, I couldn't sit with it. I needed it closed, now, at any cost, usually by forcing someone to give me an answer before they were even ready to. Rewiring that impatience was some of the hardest inner work I've ever done. I had to teach myself, almost physically, to sit in not knowing, to let a conversation stay open, to let someone else take their time without me interpreting the silence as danger. And slowly, I learned that uncertainty won't kill you. It's actually just life. Most things don't come with guarantees. And the more I could tolerate not knowing, the less power any single person had to send me spiraling. This changed everything for me. Understanding that I'm responsible for my own life. Not my partner, not my parents, me. You cannot expect anyone to deliver something to you that you haven't first given yourself. You cannot expect to be loved if you don't know how to love yourself. That equation simply doesn't work. It never has for anyone. So it starts with looking at yourself, your self-worth, your self-love. That's number one. Then you could look at your patterns, how you actually act toward the people around you. And I will warn you, this part is hard because a lot of it hides behind layers and layers of protection. Your mind built to keep you safe. You have to get really honest with yourself and notice exactly where your ego jumps in to save you. And this is worth remembering. The ego runs almost entirely on fear. It's just thoughts. It has nothing to do with what's actually real. It's an illusion dressed up as protection. This isn't a one-time fix. It's not I did the work, I'm done. It's organic. It changes constantly. I check in with myself the way you check in on any relationship, any businesses. Every month, every 6 months, am I still the same person? Do I need to adjust something to become who I actually need to be or who I actually want to be? Because codependency is a cover-up. It quietly makes you dependent on whoever is around you, big or small, even things. And every time you let it run the show, you drift a little further from who you're actually supposed to be. I'm not telling you this because I have it all figured out. I still catch myself sometimes wanting that instant reassurance, wanting someone else to hand me certainty I haven't built for myself yet. But now I notice it. And noticing it is half of the game. If any of this landed for you, if you saw yourself somewhere in this video, I'd really love to hear it. Tell me in the comments where you first noticed this pattern in your own life, for example. And if it just resonated, stay a while. I'm here. There's more of this conversation coming. Different topics we all struggle with.